Hello everyone, Andy here, hope you're well. So I wanted to do a quick review on this cheap action camera, and I do say cheap. This is probably one of the sort of cheapest ones you're gonna get. It's on Amazon. I'll pop a link in the description if obviously you are looking to get something like this. You know, your budget won't go as far as things like your GoPros or even mid-range. This is below £100. You can't really get an action camera for much cheaper than this. It's called Exprotrek, and what I'm gonna do is just go through a few of the features quickly with you. So on Amazon, these are the things that it states. It's got electronic image stabilization, it's got a 4K Ultra HD, dual color screen, so it's got the one at the front and the back. It's waterproof. I've got the camera right here next to me, and I will show it in a little bit closer detail in a minute. But yeah, it's in its waterproof case. What's really cool is it has this little remote control. So you can just leave it, you know, somewhere. You don't have to manually press the button. So for example, when I did a test with this, I had it on a tripod, and then I was able to just click record, and when I was done, stop recording, which is a really cool feature to have. You don't have to use any apps, and you don't have to physically do it. It comes with a little remote control, so that is really cool. And it's touchscreen like most other action cameras. So on the front of it comes in a nice box. I won't do a full unboxing, you don't really need to see that. And then we've got a box of goodies. You also have your usual instruction manual, but most of the time, if you're like me, you don't really use instruction manuals. You like to just explore the product and try it out for yourself. Just have a quick look at what is in the actual box that it comes with. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that's just fallen out of here. We've got loads of different mounts. We've got a sticky back mount. We've got one that clicks into, say, like a chest mount. We've got various straps and Velcro straps. Another Velcro strap, which I'm guessing, like, you know, you could use for your wrist. We've got like a little extender for your normal mounts at the bottom, so you can actually extend the reach of your casing. We've got, I suppose, just in case it breaks, you've got another one of the clear lenses that goes on the back of the action camera. Another little mount that you can use for like a tripod. A secondary click-on mount. We've got the charging cable. We've got another case. This is an open case. So obviously if you want to get some audio, now I will point out the audio is not very good. That's the same with a lot of action cameras, unless you're gonna get the big bucks, you know, newest GoPros, and even them aren't fantastic. But yeah, the obviously you're not gonna pick up much audio when it's in the waterproof case. So what they've got here is one that you can click it into and be able to pick up audio. Got another spare mount. Got some cable ties, interestingly enough. Not really sure what you use cable ties for. You've got a little cloth to obviously clean the lens and the screen. A couple more sticky backs. So this is really cool, because this is something that, say for example, you could strap onto your handlebars, say of your bike. So that is a really handy little thing. So all these things come in, back, if I put them back into shot, all these extra bits come in for the price that you've purchased this one drone for. So let's now have a closer look at the actual camera itself. Okay, so let's have a little look at this in closer detail. So the actual case itself is so reminiscent of a GoPro. If you've used a GoPro before, it all seems really actually really high quality. For its price point, it's actually really, really good. So the top, just to undo that, is pretty standard. Let's remove it from the case. Just put that to the side. And the actual camera itself is really, really cool. It looks really good. It actually feels quite nice. It's not got that rubberized feel, which I like with a lot of other products. It's just a normal plastic. But again, for the price point, it's pretty cool. Okay, so let's turn it on. So, not sure how well you're going to actually be able to see this, but along the top we do actually have the little icon which has like a hand sort of moving gesture, which obviously is to state that it's in a stabilization mode. Because we are just in the HD at 60 frames a second, we haven't put it in the 4K, which doesn't have the stabilization. So let's go to all the different modes. So that was really quick, and if you just noticed that, then if it came across on camera, but the very slightest of touch, it's very nice and responsive, this screen. So you got all the different ones here. You got video, slowly, that is a cracking name for slow-mo. I've never seen that, but yeah, it's called slowly. Loop, lapse, photo, auto. I'm not 100% sure what auto is. Burst and timer. And if we click on settings, we've got all the different settings, which again, if you notice how nice, smooth and responsive the screen is. You can go through a lot of different settings, which I'll let you have a mess around with. But you know, you can change stuff like your weight, white balance, and your exposure, sharpness, etc. Now if we go to the little settings tab, we've got Wi-Fi, You can reset it, light source, I've just got it on auto, little LED indicator, auto power off, language, date format, date set, format the I'll be formatting the memory card. But let's click back up to the camera. So if we go record resolution, now if you can see I've got it on 1080p at 60 frames a second, but you've got various settings. It can go as low as 720, 30 frames a second, and its highest is 4K, 60 frames a second. But further in this video, I will explain a little bit more about what I think about the resolutions on this camera and the actual video quality you get from them. So, as it did mention, we have got the dual screen. So to do that, what you have to do is press and hold the mode button. And as you see, there's a little timer, and there we go. It's just as simple as that. It's really cool. So look, you can see me now in the camera. How cool is that? It is extremely responsive. There's not really much time delay at all in that. And the actual quality of that screen is actually very, very impressive. So again, to switch that back, you just click this little mode button at the top, press and hold it for a couple of seconds. Little timer comes up, and then we're back to the main screen. So what I'll do now is we'll show some footage of what I actually captured on various settings on this, and I'll let you know my opinion on what I think. So, as a bit of a summary with this action camera, overall, for the price, now you've got to sort of put that in perspective. You know, this is less than £100 for this action camera, compared to something that is, say, £350 plus. It is less than the third of a price of something like a GoPro. So you have to bear that cost in mind. Now, what I will say is, for the price, it is an okay action camera. If you haven't got much of a budget, but you just want to be able to capture some sort of footage using an action camera, then obviously this is great. Go ahead, try it out, and at the end of the day, if you're not 100% that you don't like it, you haven't spent a lot of money. So a little pros and cons for it is it's really easy to use. The actual quality of the action camera, the touchscreen is fantastic. The dual screen is great, that works brilliantly. A negative is the audio is not very good. It's actually something that I wouldn't even really bother to use it for, but that's fine. Myself, this is really cool just to use as an extra action camera to maybe use alongside another video. So for example, I might be doing like a car cleaning video or setting up your drone or something, a bit of a vlog, and you just want this to capture extra footage in the background. Going on to the screen quality, now it does say it's 4K Ultra HD. I am pretty dubious about that. When I was doing the footage, and as I will probably re-show again as I'm talking, the quality looks a bit blurred. That's in HD. It looks like it's a bit, like in Photoshop, you can do like a water effect. It's kind of like that. It looks like it's been watered down. It's a little bit blurry, soft edges. It's not very sharp. You put it in 4K, and it actually looks more like HD. So you can get sort of decent quality footage if you put it in 4K. The only problem with that is then it has no stabilization. So if you do want to get some good footage, I recommend that you put this in the highest resolution setting, and then that way you're going to get your good footage, but make sure you're not having this as something that's going to move around. But if you do want the stabilization, it does work, and it does actually work quite well. But the actual video quality, the sharpness isn't there. So you just got to bear that in mind. You might have to sort of adapt how you use this thing. A couple of cool things that actually did come with this camera, very easy to use, didn't have to do any editing whatsoever, is both the time-lapse and the slow-mo footage, which I will show again now. The time-lapse worked really well, the quality is absolutely fine, and I use the word fine because it was just set to HD, but when it was static like that and actually used as a time-lapse, the quality of the video was slightly better than recording in HD. And the slow-mo was really cool as well. Again, didn't have to do any editing. This is purely just dropped into this video, and the slow-mo footage was actually pretty decent. So in summary, the thing is with this camera is, yes, it's cheap. Yes, the quality of the video isn't great, but at the same time, for the price point, I would actually say it's decent enough. Would I use it as a main camera? No. Would I use it as something to go alongside my other camera equipment? Yes. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. At the end of the day, if you do want to get yourself one of these, I will pop a link to this in the description so you can go and get yourself one, try it out, see what you think. Let me know in the comments below if you do purchase one and see what footage you can get out of it. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you have a good day. Bye.